Welcome back to the Trailblzers podcast. My name is Catherine Antonio.
And my name is also Catherine Antonio. And we're here on our third episode. How are you, Kat?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's been a good week. We published the first episode. This is the second episode. And it was pretty good. I mean, we got some positive feedback, a lot of constructive criticism from friends and stuff. So it was a good week. We had one video go to 6,000 views.
That's insane.
Which is pretty insane. It just went viral for a little bit, really quick, 15 minutes. And then it just it stopped there. So that's fine.
That's okay.
But it's good. It's good. How
Perfect.
are you?
I'm good. I'm doing well.
Good. We're going to talk about a racism incident in Sag Harbor today. Then the TikTok trend about the devious lakes and people actually getting in trouble in high school for stealing literal toilets, dude. And then Gabby Petito. She's missing in that whole story. So, but first, how's your week been?
Everything's good. Working long hours like usual, but everything is well. No complaints whatsoever.
And then heavy schoolwork, right?
Yeah, heavy schoolwork.
You literally came in today and you did schoolwork for a couple of hours before even jumping into the podcast
exactly.
stuff. So that's good.
How's work?
Good. I'm going down from 60 hours to 35 hours a week so that I can focus on training again and this podcast because I really want to put a lot of effort into it. So that's good. Very happy because that's a 25-hour difference. 25 hours is a lot of hours in a week. So I'm going from 6 days a week to 4 days a week.
Yeah, you can definitely do a lot more with that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So Sag Harbor. Tell me about it.
All right. So basically, it's a laundrette. It's in Sag Harbor. There's this young black girl. She's 22 years old. She is clearly doing her laundry. She's sitting outside on the bench with her younger brother that's 11 years old, black as well. So basically, they're sitting there, and the owner of the laundrette, he's 61 years old. He's a white male. He says, "Oh, can I sit next to you guys?" They say, "No, listen, I am socially distancing." So whatever, he didn't take it well. He then goes and he says, "Oh, I can't even sit on my own bench in front of my own store."
Yeah.
So that was definitely a negative response, especially due to the pandemic and the rising numbers to Delta. So basically, then after he sits, they move over to the next bench. He's still showing a bad attitude. They decide to go to the car, drop off their frozen yogurt, which they were eating on the bench. They try to go inside of the laundrette. And once they try to go inside, he's shadowing their movements at the doorway. He's
not letting them in, right?
He's not letting them in. So basically she's like, "Oh, I just need to get my clothes." And he's like, "Where? Through the back?" Through the back. That's insane. It's thinking about, for example, when racism was extremely prominent and when black people and people of color would have to sit in the back of the bus. So
very symbolic.
Very symbolic to everything. That. Yeah, why would that be the first thing that comes to his mind? So therefore, she keeps trying to go in. Her little brother is filming this. And as he's trying to film this, he's not letting them in. Yeah. So they end up calling 911. He shoves her, actually. And then he reacts as "Oh, did you see she pushed me?" But he was the one pushing her. Yeah. So they call the police. The police comes by. They decide to not grab the clothes. They wait for the police to arrive. He gets arrested with a second-degree harassment. So basically that just means that he did touch her and it was on footage.
Yeah, there was physical,
There was physical touch to it. Yeah. So that's just insane to me since this is so close to home. And you wouldn't think that this is something that's still happening around us, but I think this just brings so much more consciousness to how prominent racism still is in certain people's minds, I guess.
Oh no, for sure. I mean, we're pretty isolated from a lot of things out here on Long Island. But there's this video of people in, this guy goes to the most racist town in America.
What's the most racist town in America?
I wish I knew, dude. I just came to my head. It's on YouTube. If you look up most racist town in America, there will be a video of someone just putting up a Black Lives Matter sign, I think, and then just the amount of people that react to that in a literal racist way, saying the N-word, driving past and putting the finger up and stuff like that. So, no, as we saw the summer of 2020 and summer 2021, racism, dude, 100% still prominent.
That's insane. Yeah, well, clearly
we're just very isolated from a lot of things, to be honest.
It's kind of heartbreaking. It's big time heartbreaking, especially since we're both people of color. And
Yeah.
I'm just thankful that we haven't had to experience that personally.
Have you? Let's talk about that.
So when I think about racism, I think about it in a way that perhaps people will be calling me like, oh, being her, like some like gross derogatory slur, in other words.
Yeah.
But personally, I don't feel that I have encountered that. I definitely do have friends that have felt that. But personally, I haven't been a victim to it. Maybe like in elementary school, I remember being told like, oh, your arms are so hairy, your eyebrows are so bushy. But it was never to like the point where I felt like, oh my God, they don't like me because of my skin color or anything like that.
That stuck with you, didn't it?
So it definitely stuck with me till this
Even
day.
Even though it was like a little thing.
Like it was so tiny, but I was so young and like my personality was still in formation.
Yeah.
So like to this day, I shave my arms just to make sure that no one ever says, oh my God, your arms are so hairy.
Really?
And like my eyebrows are always done for the same reason. But I don't know. Have you ever felt any type of...
No, I haven't. I came here and I didn't really care. I got bullied in middle school, that's for sure.
What did you get bullied for?
I don't know. It was like people would just say stuff behind my back and I didn't even understand it. But then my friend who was bilingual, he would explain it to me and they would just make fun of me. I don't know. Maybe it was racism. I don't know. But
What were you made fun of for?
I don't know. I don't remember. I blocked out so much of like when I first got here, but I don't know. Whatever it was, like it's middle school. Like even white people get bullied in middle school. White kids. So
Everyone gets bullied.
Most people, which that in itself is a problem. But I never attributed it to racism. So I just went on with my life. I moved to a new school that was honestly very, very predominantly white, and I never cared about race whatsoever. I just dove into the culture and the people, and I just had friends regardless of whether they were white or any other race. So I never excluded myself. I always just included myself. Like I didn't care. So I think maybe that's why I just never.
Yeah, you always felt included because you put yourself in that position.
Yeah, I always
and maybe like
myself.
A big factor of it is feeling like excluded from society because of random comments. Just like, for example, if like my body hair had affected me more later on, maybe I would feel like, oh my God, no, I feel like I can't include myself within these kids or this friend group or something. But I think it's all about at the moment that it happens and how vulnerable you feel to these situations.
You're very impressionable, which, I mean, if any kids watch this or anyone in middle school or high school, it matters. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, don't bully, because kids who bully don't care. But it leaves a lasting impression in people, regardless of what it is. If you think it's harmless, like it's not. People go home and think about it and never tell anyone about it until they're on a podcast 5 years later.
Yeah,
like
bullying.
8 years later.
Like if we're even going to talk about bullying, I remember in middle school, kids would always say to me, oh my God, your voice is so high pitched. And that's something that I was very much accused of.
I love your voice.
I had ask.fm, and it was the worst time of my life. Like
I had what?
Ask.fm. Do you remember that? Like it was anonymous questions and stuff. And all of the kids would always just go at me with like, your voice is horrible and blah, blah, blah. And like, it was always just like the meanest comments and all the worst things. But for some reason, it just didn't affect me in the same way. Or I was more like, you know what? I'm still so young. My voice is going to go down. And clearly it did. So it's like, if anyone is ever like being bullied, like you can do this, like just push through.
Yeah. I mean, it's so whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Exactly.
Maybe not. That's fucked up.
Yeah, it does.
'Cause it's bullying. It's never
bullying.
Okay,
it's not okay. But like, if you have
no way,
you can get through it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not forever, and school doesn't last forever.
I was talking to my friend about this. School's not the real world whatsoever.
I agree.
Once you leave high school, people don't really care about what you do, what your aspirations are, unless it's like a romantic partner and they're interested in that. But for the most part, if your friends are around you, they care about you, they're not going to care whether you go to school or don't go to school, get a job, don't get a job. They don't really care. They just care about you as a person. That's probably just the most important thing. So just realize that high school is not the real world. As soon as you leave high school, you're free.
And that's
forever.
the funny thing. Like, people think that high school is their whole personality, that these kids matter, that everything matters, that if you do something stupid, it's going to last forever. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that at least on Long Island, you're basically put in this area. You don't have a choice of where you're going to go. It's just like you're friends with these people because it's a community of people that all live there. And you're basically put into this bubble, and it's like, all right, be friends, group yourselves.
Yeah.
But it's not like that's going to be your forever.
Once you leave, you're free to go to any group.
And do whatever you want. And you don't have to be forced to be friends with these people just because of the isolation bubble.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, luckily
But talking about high school.
What?
Have you heard about the crazy trend?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I saw this on TikTok. This has been in my For You page. This entire week, people are literally stealing toilets, dude. Toilet sinks, entire bathroom.
My question
things.
is,
like, what?
how are they so intelligent to like know what pipe to take apart? Like, how do they sneak the tools into the school?
I've seen videos of it.
But
people
like,
just like put it in their backpacks.
How do they put a toilet in their backpack?
No. Okay, so they don't put toilets in their backpack. What happens is they'll take the toilet and they'll literally carry it and walk around the school with it until they get caught. And then I saw the story where they were carrying it and they dropped it and the whole thing shattered and the kids were expelled.
Ew, but isn't there like urine in it? And like feces?
No, because that goes down the pipe. So if you remove the pipe and just take the toilet, you'll be good.
Oh my god!
But it's crazy. People are actually getting in trouble and like expelled.
But this is like, I just think it's a form of rebellion.
Well, that's part of our generation, dude. What are you gonna do to get clicks? What are you gonna do for clout?
That's true. Clout.
Dude, what are we doing? I mean, we're
not doing it for clout.
we're not. We're doing it because I think we think it's fun and we could probably provide some level of positive entertainment, information, whatever, right? But like at the end of the day, we do like to get those numbers up, and if we see like, of course. So
I guess they're like, oh my god, this is gonna blow me up on TikTok.
Center Riches is calling.
Oh my god, answer.
I think a high school. Did you call
Center Riches?
I called high school about high schools about whether this happened in their schools.
Okay, answer.
They're calling us back.
Do it.
Hello.
Hey, this is Jared calling from Enterprise.
Oh, okay. Hi, how's it going?
So,
it was not the high school.
It was not the high school.
So
actually, prior to starting the episode, we literally spent about 3 hours just like reading very thoroughly through everything. And we called all the high schools on the East End. And we were all like, oh, listen, we're doing some research for our podcast, for our article. No one gave us a call back. They all sent us to voicemail, and no one wanted to give us any information if vandalism has happened.
I'm sure it has.
It probably has, but like they obviously don't want the negative
media.
Negative media.
We're the media now.
We're the media now.
But
and
we could just text anyone from West Hampton though. Like honestly,
that's true. But like we wanted like the yes or no answer from like the actual principal's office. But you know what? It's okay.
But yeah, it brings up the question: what are you willing to do for clout? You go on TikTok, dude. You see some people go viral for the craziest things.
Yeah.
Have you seen the one where the lollipop, where the guy goes like he goes into like a really high pitched voice and grabs a lollipop from someone, and people find that entertaining? You haven't seen that?
No, we have completely different algorithms. Yeah, let's talk about that. It's funny how everyone has like a weird algorithm. Like I know my boyfriend has all of his is like military, army, like Trump stuff, like things like that. Yours is like funny, entertaining, like
just clown
stuff. And mine is like yoga, traveling, girls singing. For a while, I was on the sorority rush week for Alabama.
That one, everyone was in that one.
That was hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, we all have like different algorithms.
And people go viral for some weird shit. But that's the world we live in now. Social media and people's attention is currency. That's what is valuable nowadays.
That's true. That's why it's a free app, because they make their money off of all of us.
Yeah.
And we're like watching this for free, and we're literally giving them money.
And attention is now so rare that if you have attention from people, that is now worth like the same as gold. All these companies are going on. I'm talking like serious companies, the Washington Post, like I don't know, Fortune 500 companies on TikTok commenting and trying to act cool.
That's true.
Because that gets attention, and that attention turns into money because they can promote whatever it is. Like this that we're doing eventually at a point in time is going to be able to turn into either money or something that we can provide for our audience and stuff like that. So it's a crazy world we live in. Attention. That's literally the new currency.
And we all have such a short attention span. Like we can watch a video and then we'll be done. Like, did you see the video for the Blue's Clues?
No.
So basically his name is Dave, I'm pretty sure. He did Blue's Clues all throughout We Were Young. Then he like kind of disappeared and he just came up and showed a video and it went like viral. Yeah. Like everyone in their mid-20s was like, oh my God. And like I saw the comments for it and it was so insane because it was like, boop, showed up and now I'm gone.
Yeah. It's
just like that with everything.
Yeah.
Especially like young kids like trying to like center their position, I guess, in society, because I guess since the world we're in is all about like getting attention, it's just formed a big society of people all just trying to get someone else's attention. And maybe throughout the pandemic, like many of these kids weren't getting that same attention from home because like their parents were busy or they were stressed out or they all just tried to avoid seeing each other. And even if they were such in close quarters, it was just like weird for them. And they just wanted to be like in a social context that means acceptance.
Yeah.
So I'm just seeing it from like that perspective. It's not even like hooligan kids. It's like kids just trying to fit in.
They're not going out anymore. They're not, playing games in the woods like or whatever. They're just on their phones.
Exactly. And that's true because back in high school, like I feel like the kids would get together and they would go on the field and they would go for a run or they would go kick around a ball or they would walk through town or go skateboarding. But now it's just change. Everything is right behind your phone.
Yeah.
And Instagram and TikTok is literally just dominating.
I think we're all guilty of it. I'm guilty of it.
I'm extremely guilty. I'm on my phone. I could probably tell you my screen time and it's insane.
Yeah. We all do that. And it's crazy because we think like we do a lot, and sure we do.
But there are people that do more.
We could do more. We could do a lot more.
We could do a lot more.
Something to think about our personal lives, honestly, like after this.
Yeah, I think this is like what else can we do with our lives and sit and watch TikToks for like 20 minutes. And like once you start watching one, you keep going. Yeah. And it's about like the infinite scroll, just like Instagram. Like before that, remember it wasn't like that. And then they did the infinite scroll. And like every time you reload your Instagram feed, it's just more and more and more and never ends. And so you can just be stuck there for hours.
Yeah, and they developed that. Oh, there's a Netflix show about it, but they just develop it in a way to capture. Are you talking about clickbait? No. There's an older one. I'm gonna watch.
I haven't seen it either. Should we watch it?
We should. But there's also a positive side, which the social media world always comes with a good and bad. But
what's the good?
I mean, Gabby Petito.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
We can jump right into it. She went missing. She was on a cross country
van
trip.
life.
In a van with her boyfriend, and they were documenting it on YouTube. So they were YouTubers for a little bit, and this trip was their main story throughout the time that they were doing it, since I think July or June. And they were just traveling the United States, and then she was reported missing on September 11th, and her boyfriend, as it turns out, had been home with the van for 10 days. So can you explain that to me? Like why what's happening here? Why is her boyfriend home for 10 days, didn't report her missing, but it was her parents who reported her missing. And now, as of the recording of this, he's been missing for 3 days. He's a person of interest named by the FBI. What happened there?
But my question is, so for example, when she first started going missing, when the report came out, I automatically went to social media. One of my really close friends, her boyfriend went to school with her fiance.
Oh,
with Gabby Petito's fiance, which is her boyfriend.
Yeah, his name is Brian Laundrie.
Brian Laundrie. So he went to school with him, and they were like, "Oh my God, like I can't believe this." So I automatically jumped on the story, went on the Instagram, found the TikToks, found everything to do with it, and everyone was just analyzing the fact that the last two photos, they did not have locations. They went missing. Like, it's weird that his parents saw him come back and they didn't even report her. The guy isn't talking, automatically lawyered up after coming back. And that to me is just like, if you love someone, even if you have a minor argument, you report it. And it's just like, even if you, as my best friend, you go missing, we had a bad argument right before, I'm like, oh my God, where is he? Is he okay? Where is he sleeping? What is he doing? Like, I would automatically freak out just because that's the type of person that I think if you care about someone, that's the right thing to do. And I don't know if that's
human being,
but like,
honestly.
I would hope so that's like most human beings. Like if you care about someone, you automatically find them. And I think that's for the same reason that there are apps like Life 360, the Apple Tracker, and everything. We're in a world where we like to know where everyone is. And actually Snapchat was one of the first apps to even do that with the Snap Map. So you know where everyone is at all times. And just like to think about it, it's so cruel, especially because this girl is from Long Island. And I think as a whole in New York, we kind of blew up the story even more because it's so close to home. And if you see the whole thing, this is one of the cases that has gotten more attention than any others. Yeah. And even in one of the articles that I was reading, it says that with this case that got so much exposure, it brought to light that there are, at the end of 2020, there were 90,000 missing person reports that hadn't been attained to.
Yeah.
And that's just like...
Out of 90,000 that happened a year, you're telling me that this one's like the biggest one. So we definitely did blow it up.
Yeah. And
but
like,
it's good.
And it's, but like now it's heartbreaking because maybe if her boyfriend, even if he would have left her or something, and maybe someone even hurt her, or we don't know what happened because you're not guilty until proven.
Yes.
And
I agree with
like,
that 100%. You're not guilty until proven. You're innocent until proven guilty.
Exactly.
But I don't know, everything's pointing to, because 10 days, I don't know if you can
driving back, but how long is the drive from all the way from Wyoming back to Florida?
14 hours.
It's only 14 hours from there to there?
From Wyoming to California is 14 hours.
No, but from Wyoming to Florida.
I don't know. But to I don't know if it's physically or emotionally possible psychologically possible to just go without talking to someone, especially your significant other, for 10 days in a row.
It's 32 hours.
Jesus.
So,
but he had 10 days of time to like...
So he had 10 days.
Before she was reported missing.
He had 11 and a half days, basically, because 32 hours.
He had a good amount of time.
Yeah, he had a really good amount of time. And can you just like imagine yourself being in a van where you were just living with your fiance for about 3 weeks, which was how long the trip was actually. And then just driving home in complete silence. Like just the subtle idea of that is like heartbreaking. I would automatically.
It's not possible.
It's just
the
like
way you put it. It's not possible.
Just like you start like thinking about the person. Like I feel like I would personally go crazy, and I would just go back and I'd just be like, I can't find my girlfriend. Please help me. I would reach out to police enforcement, and just like it just doesn't sound possible. Even if you love someone and you were engaged and you were living together for over 2 years, even the custom of like not talking to that person right after.
No, yeah, you're right. Maybe he's guilty. But he definitely
something just sounds
guilty.
off.
Something sounds really, really off.
And it's just like,
oh, we didn't even mention her, but possibly it's her body parts.
Oh yeah, so basically her body might have been found in Wyoming. Yeah. But the sneaky part here, let's like really think about the sneaky part.
Yeah.
Her mom gets a text message on August 30th saying no service and pronounce the name.
Yosemite.
I say
National Park,
guys. Yosemite National Park. And how does that even add up when Wyoming's 14 hours from California? Like, and then a possible body is found in Wyoming, just like a female body, but it's kind of deteriorated, and so they're going to do the autopsy.
You got a theory?
My theory? You mean my speculation?
Yeah, I'm going to clip this. You got a theory, Kat? On Gabby Petito's whereabouts and how she got there?
I really think that it was a crime of passion, as we had mentioned.
Okay.
I think he got really angry or something came out of light, and he got really annoyed, really pissed off, and he was like, killed her. And he killed her. And
where?
Wyoming. Or so
where was she killed?
So what if he actually killed her in California?
Okay.
Killed her in California, sent the text and said on his way back to Florida, dropped her off in Wyoming, and that way he didn't have the body with him, and he kind of thought that would throw everyone off. But the fact that there isn't enough footage, like there's no footage of them being in California because they were supposed to go up to Oregon. So like California is right here and Oregon's up here. So it's like, if you really think about that, like, okay, maybe he was like, yeah, it makes sense. But he forgets that this girl was constantly on Instagram, constantly on YouTube, always posting everything like that. And that just doesn't add up. So maybe he just like left her there, and maybe it was late at night, so no one would see them. And he would think, oh, maybe a hyena killed her, or some crazy wild animal. But in reality, that just doesn't add up. And now the guy is missing. Like, gets an attorney, like, speak up. If you love a woman, you're gonna go ahead and help, especially if you were with her since high school.
I agree.
It's just like,
and now we're saying theory and whatever, but
what's your theory?
At the end of the day, it's a life that was lost, and that is always going to be like a serious,
and it's like it's sad.
And actually possibly lost, because it hasn't been confirmed that
like,
it's her, but
I pray that it's not.
Yeah, hopefully
she's so young, so filled with light. If you even see her videos, her photos, looks so happy. And she worked in the pharmacy industry, so that's interesting too. Like, she was doing something cool, like she was doing something productive, and she just probably wanted to take this trip. And like, just like everyone, we've all seen the trends, van life, blah blah blah, like this and that. It was her dream.
Van. It was a nice van. Yeah,
it was a nice van. It looked so comfy, like so cute. And it's like, it's just heartbreaking. Our
condolences go out to their family. We're talking about it obviously in our show, like we're using this for our show, but seriously, it's heartbreaking.
I pray that everyone stays safe, and I pray that just this isn't her body, and maybe she's out there safe.
And if the guy did it, dude,
he
deserves whatever is coming to him, everything.
And everyone will come against him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, for sure. But rot in fucking hell, or get the death sentence. I don't know. I don't even know. But
just entirely heartbreaking, guys.
Yeah, he definitely did something, because the two locations don't add up. So he definitely either killed her if he killed her in California and drove the body to Wyoming, or killed her in Wyoming. Or
what if
something?
Honestly, what if he just killed her in Wyoming and just sent the text?
That too.
And they just dipped.
There's so many possibilities.
Because I thought, can't they pin where text messages are sent from?
Yeah, so I think the FBI is looking into all that data, because the United States, gathers all the data from everyone's phones.
Yeah.
Whether you believe it or not.
Well, that's why we have everything on these iPhones.
Yeah. But we'll finish the story next week. Hopefully we know for sure what happened throughout this week and as it develops. But again, our condolences go out to their families.
Completely.
But yeah, that's it for today's episode.
Yeah.
Not ending up on a light note.
Not ending on a happy note, but in our regards to this episode, I just hope that everyone is just as aware as we are about what's going on around us, and we hope that you guys get to see things from a different perspective, at least, and that everyone just stay safe. Just stay safe, be cautious. Remember that the world is filled with not so much good sometimes, and that even if we live on a safe island or you're in a safe area, to never let your guard down.
But always be nice to other people. You can make a difference in the world. We'll see you guys on next week's episode.
Thank you so much for listening, guys.
Bye.
Bye.